What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norins89 here, bringing you another video, a little bit of a different one, going back to some other videos I've done on the channel where I've talked about the positives of content creating or negatives of collecting physical media, but also positives and stuff. Today, we're going to talk about content creators and content creating burnout and stuff, with me being a YouTuber for going on about 5 years now. Yeah, I think it's about 5 years now, 4 to 5 years that I've been doing this and stuff, and just coming from me being a parent, life, I work and everything, and just talking about, like I said, creating videos on YouTube. It's going to be kind of, like I said, talking about, burnout and stuff that could happen and all that stuff, or the feelings that I have and also the stresses and everything. So a little bit of a more real and raw type video we're going to get into today. So let's do this. Roll it. So before I kick off this video talking about content creators and content creating and burnout and stuff, I want to give a shout out actually to other content creators that I love watching and enjoying and stuff like that. We have Mike from Did You See That? That is a huge friend of mine. I love watching his videos, and he's also done similar videos like this too, talking about the stresses of being a YouTuber and everything. Also, Angel and Steve from the Voices from the Mausoleum, their podcast is fantastic. Also, You Need a Horror podcast, love them as well. Christian and Nick over there, they're actually another huge reason that inspired me to doing a lot of videos and doing YouTube and stuff. So that's one huge thing, is I love doing it because I was inspired to do it. And it's cool because when you content create and you do this YouTube thing, you're able to put yourself out there, which can be a very scary thing. Don't get me wrong. That could be a very scary thing, but you're putting yourself out there, your opinions and, all this stuff out there to be judged. And that, like I said, can be a scary thing, especially with the times we live in now and everything with the whole social media, and everybody has an opinion and a comment and stuff like that. So yes, it's a very, very traumatic event sometimes when it comes to certain things you want to express your opinions about. But like I said, that's a huge reason why I love it, is because I was able to share my opinions, meet other content creators, or talk to other content creators, or collab with them and everything. And it's just been such a fabulous journey, really learning about it. And it's like, for me, I always tell my kids, I'm a parent of 3 kids, so that's one thing I want to discuss too, and that's a big part of my life, is that when it comes to parenting, I always tell them that knowledge is power. And I've learned so much while being on my YouTube journey, and that's a big reason why I continue to do it. But there is also stuff that I want to talk about when it comes to YouTube burnout, because in terms of me being a YouTuber, I've been doing this for, like I said, 4 to 5 years now. I don't have a huge subscriber account, but when you look at how many videos I've done upwards of like 800 videos for this channel. I only have about, I think it's like 665 or 68 subscribers, something like that. So you can tell, like, it's just something that now I grind at. It's a grinding thing, and that's the burnout stuff, is when it comes to having an actual job. I have a full-time job where I work, 40 to 45 hours a week. I have 3 kids. I have a wife. I have a house to take care of and, fix and clean and stuff like that. But there's also the stresses of, like I said, just being a parent, or everyday type stuff, taxes, all this kind of stuff, just adulting. I usually, when I'm talking to my friends or I'm talking to my kids and stuff, it's adulting stuff. That's the way I like to describe it. There's so much of that goes on, that when it comes to content creating, I love doing this and I really enjoy it, but there can be a burnout, because some days when I work 10-hour shifts and then I come home and, I have to clean or, change, and I get into my jammies, it's like, yeah, sometimes I'm tired and I don't really want to put in the effort to sitting down and doing a video, because then it's like, then I got to edit the video, because that takes time. I do all my own editing, so it takes time. When I have a 10-minute video, that takes about 30 minutes to edit. You have a 30-minute video that takes about, like an hour or so to edit. There's always more time that goes into editing, depending on what you want to put into it. Also, another thing with content creating is the view counts. You kind of get lost in that sometimes as a content creator. You're thinking about so much, how many views am I getting per video, how many subscribers am I getting a month, and is the algorithm favoring my videos and stuff like that. So it's just stresses that add on to your normal stresses of life, of being to work on time, picking up the kids, scheduling appointments, all these things. So it ends up piling up, and it really does become a very stressful situation and weighs heavy on your shoulders. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining or anything like that. Like I said, this is more of just a raw, real video discussing, like I said, my feelings and my aspirations of what I want for the channel. But like I said, also reasons why the channel is the way it is for me. It's something that I go to do where I'm relaxed. I love content creating and doing these videos, and I'm also somebody that kind of changes my mind on a whim. Like, I can be into one thing for a whole week, and then the next 2 weeks be into something totally different where I'm like obsessed with this thing, and then I transition to something else. Like I just at the drop of a dime will flip my interests into, this week I'm all about Stephen King movies. For example, one week I'm all about Stephen King movies, and every other day I'm watching some Stephen King thing, and then for some reason 2 weeks later and I'm all into Hammer films, and all I'm doing is digesting, Hammer stuff or Dracula type stuff. It's just at the drop of a dime, it could switch. So I knew, being a content creator, I was never going to be one of those channels that has what I'm doing this week, or here's my updates, or what's coming in the next few days kind of thing, because I'm not like that. That's just not the kind of person I am, because so much of my life is controlled and is like that, where it's this day is very monotonous, or I do this day and it's like this, or this is a scheduled thing. So for YouTube, sometimes, like I said, it just is a freelance thing. It's just how I feel that day, or I want to go live and stuff. And a lot of times too, people don't understand when it comes to I do physical media content as well, where I talk about movies or Blu-rays or 4Ks that I pick up, and there's time and effort that goes into watching these movies again, and then watching special features about these movies, or talking about, like I said, weird movies like this. Like, this is just a pack of La Llorona movies, but actually committing to watching these movies that are probably not even that great, but committing to the time to talking about them and watching them. The Faculty, a movie I really love and I love returning to, but we have special features on here. Then you want to talk about the release and stuff, and it's like there's just so much time that goes into it. Or even my Final Destination videos I've been doing now, and it's like you have to rewatch all the movies. That's an hour and a half every movie. Then filming the video about it, then editing the video, then doing a ranking video and kind of timing them out. So it's so much time, and that's one thing people must realize as you get older. It's a teen and a kid. Time is not really a concept you think about as much, but when you become an adult, you realize that time is something you can't get back. And really balancing your time and budgeting it for what you want to do, like I said, spending time at work. I'm there 40 to 45 hours a week. That only leaves me with this much time to hang with the family, and then this much time to clean and do my house stuff or cook, but then also time to watch these. So it really is time management and balance and stuff like that. And there are, like I said, admittedly, sometimes on this channel where I'll go 11 to 10 days without uploading a video. But then there's other weeks where I'm hitting you guys every other day. You know what I mean? With a video where I drop 3 to 4 videos in 1 week. But then there's some days weeks where I do get tired, and I'm like, I just want to focus on just going to work or enjoying actually watching wrestling and basketball, because that's other content that I love to watch. But in terms of doing it for YouTube, it doesn't really make sense for my channel, because it's not going to get pushed as much. The algorithm favors me when I do physical media content, or I do ranking videos, or I talk about horror movies. That's the kind of content that really pops off on my channel. So when I do wrestling content, or I talk about NBA stuff, it just doesn't pop off as much, even though I'm very knowledgeable in those categories, because I've been watching wrestling my whole life. I've been watching basketball since I was like 9 or 10 years old. So it's like, those are things that I'm very knowledgeable in, but it doesn't make sense to put time and effort into making videos on that. But I do want to watch them, so then I lose time on that. I'm not able to film videos for the channel. I'm not cleaning or cooking or doing stuff like that because I'm enjoying my basketball or I'm watching wrestling. So those are things and aspects of life. It's just as you become an adult, and then now, like I said, being a content creator, which is kind of like a second job, even though I don't make money off of this or anything, which is one thing that I'm also kind of taking a step back. Why too is because I'm not really pulling in money from this. And if I'm starting to put more and more time into it, I do want to eventually be able to get some kind of beneficial stuff out of this, because like I said, I have a household to uphold. I have 3 kids, I'm a family man. So it's like, for much time. I enjoy this and I love this. There are times where I'm like, yeah, I do need to somehow be pulling in some kind of income off of this. So I'd want to have eventually 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers, but then getting to that point and becoming part of the YouTube program or the partnership program, it's a journey and it's kind of a chore to get there, but it's also work, you know what I mean? So it's something that you have to grind at. So that's what I mean. I just wanted to really get raw and real with you all and kind of talk about this, because it's been a while since I've done a video like this, you know what I mean? Where it's just being open, venting, talking to you all, you know, expressing my feelings and stuff and sharing stuff with you as my viewers and stuff, because that's one thing that I really do appreciate you all as subscribers, all the support, all the love, all the comments. That's one thing I want to cherish and want to shout out is I love all the support, and there's so many amazing people I've met through collabing in YouTube, but also commenting and as subscribers, and now friends on Facebook and stuff like that, or friends on Bluesky, and now just sharing all that with them. It's a beautiful thing. But like I said, there is times where I'm tired or I'm stressed out or I'm worn out or I'm depressed or sad and I just don't feel like doing things. But this is why I wanted to do this video, to tell everybody that, you know, those are real things. It's okay. That just means that just means you're a human and you're stressed out and things are happening. And like I said, you're acknowledging it and taking that time to take a vacation or take a few days off and just vent or just breathe, you know what I mean? And just be normal can sometimes be a really cool thing to reset yourself, you know what I mean? Or even like, you know, meditation. I love doing that too, where there's sometimes where I don't really lay down or sleep, but I'll lay in the bed and kind of just meditate and really just breathe and not really think about stuff going on. Because there's sometimes when I'm trying to lay down and sleep and it's just, there's so much rattling around in my head that it's like you have to be able to center yourself and calm yourself. But thank you all for sticking around for this video. Like I said, this is just a chill video, but also a real raw video of just going over feelings and my thoughts on being a content creator, because like I said, I've been doing it for many years now, and this is, like I said, my honest opinions. And like I said, I really want to keep doing this, but also telling you why there are some times where I go 10, 11 days where I don't upload and stuff, and kind of just describing you too that I do have family life. There's other stuff that comes before making videos for me, like I said, sometimes. So thank you all for letting me share my opinions and my thoughts and getting out this realness inside of me and everything. Please like the video. That definitely helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I greatly appreciate, and have that notification bell poked so you're notified anytime I drop any content. But most importantly, you all know what's up. Have a safe and happy day out there. Peace out.